computer. Okay, cool. Um, well, before we get into everything, I made some quick updates on Discord. So basically I like subscribed to like more of a premium, so I kind of made it a little bit more pretty and everything. Kind of organized the channels a little bit more. So if you have any technical issues, you can go to help desk. And then everything is pretty much structured very similar, but the live trading room, we don't have to like chime in and say, "Hey, I want to raise my hand just to talk." Like now I set it to where we can just talk. But I think on the weeklies, I'm going to keep them at Zoom. That way, if I do invite people from Instagram and they decide to come in,
Mhm.
there's like a low barrier to entry since, some people aren't really familiar with Discord and how it works. Um, so how was your Euro USD trade? I know you were in a short for a while. Did you end up closing that position or are you still like in the short?
I closed it. I only made like $48, but
Oh wow, okay.
yeah, it was okay.
Okay.
It was just doing some crazy things, so it kept going up and down, and yeah, so
Yeah. Okay,
I just
no
went.
worries.
I came out of it. So
No issues with closing the position and stuff. You're good to go with that.
right, yeah, it worked out
Cool.
perfectly. Thank
Right.
you.
Um, okay, cool. Let's mark up some charts and then I'll kind of show you what I did last week with my prop firm challenge. So I actually have basically my P&L from last week. Um, I did okay. It wasn't really the best week for me last week. So um, okay, so we're on the chart US 30, basically the Dow Jones. Those are the top 30 companies in the United States. Um, and we'll get to the basics, We'll start doing our line charts. And then what I'm going to add today is basically some additional information to help you understand and gauge what the market is doing. So basically fundamental news, all right, right? So last week there was basically uh, this one's not good. Hold on. So NFP is it comes out like the first week of the month.
Mhm.
And NFP just means non-farm payroll. And so uh, it basically releases how many people are getting hired for that time frame. And so, if the expectation is, let's say, 200,000 new jobs and the results become $210,000, 210,000, then the job market it's just a gauge to say, hey, there's a stimulus in the job market, meaning this is a positive for the economy. So there's always an aggressive reaction to NFP and other sorts of news. So I'll kind of show you where I go to look for high impact news because you'll notice that like the candles will start moving really, really fast um, when news comes out. So we'll kind of get into that and mentally prepare for stuff like that. Okay, cool. So we did the daily and now we're on the 4 hour and we can do line chart one more time just to clean it up. Uh, do you like Zoom better for the weekly breakdowns?
Yes,
A little bit easier.
I can. I can see the charts a lot better. So
Oh, really? Okay. That's good. Good to know. So get rid of this one. And then, okay, great. So this looks good. We see overall direction. Let's go back out to the daily time frame. And Dow Jones is looking like it's at its all-time high, right around here. And the overall direction of the Dow Jones is bullish. So, higher highs, higher lows. So we see stuff like this, right? So every time it hits a new high, it never comes below the previous high. So that means higher high and also with the
Mhm.
higher lows. So this is a pretty good bullish trend. Um, and if we look right here on that daily time frame, let's go to the 4 hour now. Basically, price has stayed above this structure on the daily line chart that I drew, right? So essentially, price is holding, and that means that's good for technical analysis. So we want to do daily support, mark that up, and then we saw price from September 24th all the way to current. We see a price that breaks that resistance and then it creates a support. So this would be the break. This is the retest and then continuation to the upside. So when New York session comes in, because we're Dow Jones isn't Forex. This is basically a derivative of the indices, right? So the stock market and stuff. So we'll see a lot more volatility around New York session, which is like around 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. your time,
Mhm.
Reggie. So
Yes.
yeah. So now let's get a little bit more granular and go into the 1 hour. And the reason why I say that is because there's more data, right? So as you can tell, this was the all-time high. So let's move this over here. And so what I want to do now is I want to mark my line chart on the 1 hour. So we'll do 1 hour. We'll just name it 1 hour. And so remember when I said that we don't want to trade within a channel?
Right.
So no trade zone because it's in between the train tracks.
Right.
So even though price on the bigger time frame is bullish, right? We know the sentiment now, right? We
Hmm.
we can see that it's a break and retest and then a possible continuation to the upside. So let's go into the 1 hour and basically break down this right here. You want to be able to get into a trade after it breaks out of a no trade zone, right? And so this is a zone right here.
Hmm.
And then this is also another zone. So when New York session comes and price starts pushing up right here, right? It might do something like this and then boom, break above. So what you want to do, Reggie, when you're up at 9 a.m. in the morning reading the charts is you see this candle over here, right here, this one. You
Yeah.
see how it closed right around here.
Hmm.
You want the candle to close above this 1 hour zone because once it breaks above this zone, now we're creating it's a break. So essentially, you want to wait for a break and retest now. So if price breaks above and it closes above, then we know that price is suggested to go higher. And so, but let's say price comes up and it's just boom. Maybe it comes up all the way up here and it creates a wick just like over here. So this little
Hmm.
skinny thing,
Yes.
but the candle eventually closes below, then that's not a real break. So what you want to do is you want to wait until that candle is all the way closed. So when it's no longer moving up and down and it's green above the zone, now you want to start looking for the entry. So the entry is right around here, which is the zone. So let's say the candle closes right here above. You can get into a buy right there, but typically you want to wait for a retest. So once candle closes above, you wait for it to go back down to the floor and then get
Mhm.
into a buy. So this is what I would do. I would take out my long position, put my stop below the zone, so right around here. Just give it some breathing room so you don't get stopped out, and then take it to the next high. There is no next high because the Dow Jones is at its all-time highs.
Right.
So I would just probably take it from like a zone amount, right? So right here, you're gonna see that this is, let's see, let's just measure it.
So you pretty much look for the first break point before you determine
Mhm.
um, what's the next one going to be, right?
Yeah. So this was
Okay.
about 600 ticks. So then I
Right.
would just do 600 ticks, right?
Okay.
Or just look at your risk reward. So this is a 1 to 4, right? So I'd be happy with 1 to 3. So let's not get too greedy. Let's leave it at 1 to 3. Once price breaks, retest, we get into a buy right here, take it up for 1 to 3, and we're off to the races. Um,
Okay.
if price does this, let's say price comes all the way up and starts consolidating and just never breaks during that New
Mhm.
York session, what do you think we should get into?
And we can do a retest, but probably what is it? Swing is that?
Yeah, so if price stays below the ceiling
Hmm.
and never breaks, what what do you think your next steps would be?
Probably a retest.
Okay. Well, a retest is when price breaks. So in this case, if you look at this,
It's not going to break. Yeah, I see what you're
yeah, it's
saying.
not breaking exactly. So what would be your next steps looking at this kind of play?
Not sure.
Okay, no worries. So for me personally, I would look at for a short. I would get into a short position. So I know price is holding below the ceiling. So I would put my stop loss above the last wick, right? Right here.
Okay.
And then I would short it to the next zone right there.
Okay, I see where
Okay.
I'm messing up at. So, and see, I was thinking putting it in the middle, but I keep forgetting that's no trade zone. So that's where I'm messing up
Okay.
because I probably would have put it in the middle somewhere when that's really no trade zone.
Yeah.
It's right in the channel. So
Yeah, you're
that's
right
when
in the middle. So you're
right,
remember last session, your the probabilities is going to be a little bit lower because it can go
right.
in any other direction.
Hmm.
You want to wait till it gets towards the top of the channel or towards the bottom of the channel.
Okay.
So in this case, price is closer towards the top of the channel, but you want to wait till price comes towards the top.
And so when it does this, when I see this happening, I want to bring my, I want to go, what is it, a bearish? I
Yeah.
want to bring that down to the, okay, I see what you said, what you did. I
Yeah.
see it.
So typically if price starts consolidating like that,
Right,
right, for a few hours,
right.
then it'll start coming back down.
And that's where I should put my stop loss is right there, right? Just
Yeah.
below that.
No, above, because we're doing a short this time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So you would let's do a real life scenario.
Okay. Because I haven't had that. I haven't had that with the USD
US
EU
30.
experience. Yeah, I haven't had that experience, so that's why I was kind of lost on, well, what would I do in a situation like that?
Yeah. So I'll hit the plus sign. SL
Right.
means stop loss. So I'll put it above
That it? Right.
the wick over there that we're looking
Mm-hmm.
at. We'll put our take profit right around here, the zone. And then I'm gonna hit risk on my trade locker and let's risk basically a 1% trade. So
Okay.
this would be um this would be a $239 risk. May take profit area would be, how is it doing that? Oh, there we go. My take profit would be around a 458. So this is almost a 1 to 2 risk reward, and I'll take it. Okay, cool. So let's go to Euro USD now. Since you were kind of active on that trade, we'll start from the
Mm-hmm.
top again, right?
Right.
I'm gonna get rid of all my drawing tools. So remove drawings and let's kind of squeeze it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of information, right? Overall direction of Euro USD kind of looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly upward trend, but not really, right?
Right.
So we need more information, but we'll always start off with the daily time frame. Um, so we'll do that. Multiple areas. We'll do this one right here, just to show you, right?
So why not uh, this one right here, the high?
This one.
Yes, this one right. Okay.
Yeah, we
You've
can do
done.
that one too. Yeah, that one's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, that's why I was curious.
So this M is it's called a double top. We'll get into
Right.
that later. But it's just basically a pattern. And so
Okay.
now it's looking a little vague. So let's drill down to the 4 hour now. Get some more information, right? More data.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to go super far back because we're on the 4 hour time frame.
Right.
So we can stay closer to current price.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I would say probably this one because of this, and that, right?
Good.
So that's enough lines for us. Let's go to the candles, kind of confirm what everything is looking like. Uh, I really like what this looks like because price came down and just shot down, right, last
Right.
week.
Mm-hmm.
It's holding at this support level we just drew up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so now let's go to the 1 hour and look for a setup. So price is going to go one of two ways, up or down. So we
Right.
need to find another support area. So I would say probably right here, right? Because we see a lot of consolidation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. And then we'll just draw this zone too, since it's the most recent price. We'll get rid of that too. Cool. So now, pretty clear, right? Zone to zone,
Mm-hmm.
and price can do one of two things. Price can come back up to this zone,
Right.
or price can break, retest, and then come back to this zone. So there's that's literally it. That's literally trading. You know what I mean? Um,
Right.
and so it's just finding those high probability areas. And so this is why technical analysis is important. We'll start
Mm-hmm.
adding on more tools to you know, be more objective and find more opportunities. But my strategy is very simple.
Hmm.
And so utilizing, trading zone to zone, it's going to be not only really simple for you, but it's gonna just get rid of all the noise,
Right.
because this industry, there's going to be a ton of people selling you their strategy, selling you indicators and
I'm
tools.
already getting that.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just like it's really unnecessary. Like it's really not
Right.
it's not that serious. Um, okay, cool. So now, so I'm gonna explain why this candle moved down so quickly.
Thank you.
So last week, right, on
Mhm.
Friday, you're gonna see right here, 5:30 a.m.
Mhm.
or 8:30 a.m. your time, there was a non-farm payroll, right? So
Mhm.
again, I'll kind of explain what it does. The non-farm payroll releases presents the number of new jobs created in the US during the previous month in all non-agricultural businesses. The monthly changes in payrolls can be extremely volatile. The number is also subject to strong reviews, which can trigger volatility in the Forex board. Generally speaking, a high reading is seen as bullish for the dollar, while a low reading is seen as bearish, right? So
Mhm.
we're looking at Euro USD. So that means we are bullish on the dollar because if we're shorting the euro, right, that means we're buying the dollar. So it's the euro against the dollar. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So when the news came out, and we can probably look at this time frame, this was so if you go to the bottom of my screen right here, right?
Mhm.
This was October 4th at 5 a.m. That was right when NFP news came out.
Came out.
That
Right.
means the dollar got stronger in 1 hour. It moved this much, almost a percent. So, um, you can trade the news, but it's not necessarily recommended because it's just extremely volatile. So, news can affect price in Forex, in stocks, and everything. Even when Jerome Powell comes out and he starts talking about interest rates, it's going to be a fun ride for traders. So combining both, using technical analysis to understand what's going on, and then also staying ahead of the news. So this website right here, fxstreet.com, I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay, I see it.
So what I do is I go to fxstreet.com, I click on economic calendar, and this could be good for stock traders as well. And then go to filter. I scroll all the way towards the bottom. I get rid of no impact news, low, and medium. And then I only keep the high impact news and apply it, right? Once I apply
Mhm.
it, now I'll have basically a calendar that'll show me the next high impact news. So 2 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, because I set it up for my time, Pacific. That'll probably be 5 a.m. your time. But they're going to come out with retail sales. So year over year information, and it'll break everything down for you, right? So
Right.
if retail sales is really good, and it's a positive, then the euro would be positive because their currency is going to be stronger, right? So
Right.
so now you have a better scope of, okay, what should I do? Should I get into a buy since Euro USD is at a major support, or should I wait until news comes out because price can just boom, it can just go really fast that way or go really fast that way. So based off of your technical analysis, maybe wait until that move is over so that way you're not making a risky bet because I lost a bet um last week. I was in Euro USD and it was basically looking like this.
Hmm.
Price broke, retested. I got into a trade right around here and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm good, right? I put my stop loss right around here, wrote it down for like 3-1. What happened was NFP came out and it moved so fast that I got stopped out of my position. So I'll show you kind of what I mean. So you see this arrow right here? I'm on USD JPY.
Right.
So this was the actual trade that I got into. And as you can see, here is my resistance. And I saw multiple touch points. So it's consolidating. So I'm like, okay, price is going to go down. So I got into a trade right around here, and price came all the way down to this area right here, right? So I'm in profit.
Mhm.
I'm like, hell yeah, we got a long ways to go, all the way down here, right? The next area. Soon as the news came out, um, unemployment, nonprofit, I mean NFP, right? Non-farm payroll, it was good. Means the economy is was better than expected. So what happens to the dollar? It flew up.
Oh, wow.
So it stopped me out of my position because I put my stop loss right around here, right?
Hmm.
So this is kind of my play, and I was like, hey, the risk reward is super worth it because if it plays and it continues to go all the way down, I'm making way more money. But the news was good. I was already in a trade. I think I got into the trade like Wednesday night. Friday comes, and then boom, the news comes out, and I'm out of my trade.
Okay. So,
So
so,
go ahead.
so what you were saying on the one that I use, just wait till the market open to see what that next move before I even put a trade on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I would just wait because let's say you're in a trade and maybe you're in profit a little bit, and then the
Right.
news says otherwise, and it says, hey, never mind, the euro's not doing too good. Europe is the job market is unstable this quarter. It's probably gonna go the opposite direction of what you're doing, right?
Okay.
But it could also be in your favor, right? So it's like almost doubling down. Like let's say you're let's say the euro market, right, with jobs and everything is poor, and you're bearish on the euro, and you're in a short already. As soon as the news comes out, maybe you're up $200. It's gonna fly you to $2,000 in profit because, or it might just take you to your take profit area in literally 30 minutes. So it just really depends on how you want it to play out and stuff. But it just gives you more ammo on being prepared for big moves. And
Okay.
so I'm glad that Friday was nonprofit. It comes out every month, first week Friday. That's NFP. So some traders they like to trade it because it's like, they can make a quick buck, but you got to be we're not those kind of traders. We're a little bit more intraday,
Okay.
swings. So we hold our trades for a couple days, maybe 3 days at max. Those guys, they're scalpers. So they're like in and out of the market like in 10 minutes, which is
Oh,
like
okay.
very stressful.
Yeah. So retest is only used when the market is consistent, right?
Yeah, so a retest is basically like you want it to play out, right?
Oh,
Like you don't want to be on the 5 minute time frame and like, watching the candles go up and down every 5 minutes like this. Like
Right,
that's just a lot, When you're on higher time frames, going back to my analogy about the support and resistance,
right,
uh, the higher time frame, the more solid it is. So on the daily, you're looking at concrete walls. 4 hour, you're looking at wooden walls. The 1 hour, cardboard. The 15 minute, you're looking at a piece of paper. Price can just break through that stuff really easy. So
right.
it's more volatile when you're on smaller time frames. So the
Okay,
predictability and the consistency is much higher when you're on higher time frames.
okay.
um, let's do one more chart. Let's look at GU. So we did this one already last week. We see how it kind of starts looking a little bit more familiar because like every week there's only a
Right,
certain amount of candles that play out. And so once you have your charts marked up a little bit, all you have to do is kind of readjust and continue refining your chart.
okay.
So in this case, right, let's
I
go ahead and just go to the line on the 1 hour.
think I see my other problem where I'm messing up. I'm not charting very well, so I'm not drawing lines to determine
The
my
structure.
heights. Yeah, so that's where I'm messing up. I'm trying to do it off just one line that I actually made, but I need to draw more lines so I can kind of see where they're
Yeah. I mean, it won't hurt, the more lines you draw, it's not going to hurt at all.
right,
Um, some people they draw a ton of lines, it just really depends on
right,
um, how you do it. But I like the daily, if you find solid lines on the daily, good. 4 hour, good. 1 hour, you're gonna see a lot more lines to draw on.
right.
And so it's just really taking price from a line to a line. So the more you have, the better, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't
So
like
where
my charts like graffitied up too much.
where are you getting the gray lines from? I'm just curious. That's all.
The gray ones,
Yeah.
these.
Yes.
Um, so this tool right here, if you go to,
Okay. I see that on the side. So I was just kind of curious. How did you get that?
yeah, yeah. And then I just favorited it. So now I have it right here on my favorites.
Right.
I just pull it out, boom.
Yeah.
Is that
Okay.
is that what you were asking?
Right. Yeah. I was just curious. No, but after I saw how you do it, I was like, okay, I always see it on the side, but I just never use it. So now
Oh,
I
I
know where
see.
I'm messed. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
it's just
basically,
little
like,
things that I'm doing that's throwing me off. So
yeah, it's all good. Um, so yeah, when I draw a zone, I basically I see more area of activity where price is getting drawn to, right?
right.
So I see price being drawn to this zone, right? I see price coming up, getting drawn to
Mhm.
the zone, right? Again, price coming up to the zone.
Right.
And then over here, price came all the way down and then again came to this zone right here. So these two areas, I would say, is a zone because price keeps coming and bouncing off of these two areas.
Right.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at most recent time frame, and this was NFP, right? Yeah, this was NFP because again,
Mhm.
this is GBP USD. So that means we are shorting the British pound and
Right.
buying the dollar, right?
Right.
GU. So what I see basically is a long wick meaning right here, price came all the way down and then closed up here,
Mhm.
which is a sign that price is rejecting a bearish move. So it's respecting this area right here. So price came down, kind of respected, came up. This is news, and then eventually retested above the zone. So these wicks over here on the left-hand side are super long. But now I'm like, okay, what is going to happen? Is price going to come up here? I don't know because price can do one of two things, right? It can do this and then continue to go down, or it can just go up. But because this candle right here was a huge rejection,
Mhm.
I'm going to say this was a price break and retest, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because if we if we squeeze this down a little bit, get rid of the zones, we might have to get a little bit more granular because these wicks are just a lot. Get rid of all these lines. Now pull out the line chart. I'm on the 15-minute now because this is a lot going on, right? Like, and sometimes when you have a lot going on with the chart, you might not even want to trade it.
Okay.
Move it up there. Then the next price action, right? So we got solid, 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 boom, boom, boom.
See,
Okay,
and that's what I don't use the line chart enough.
so now because there's so much information,
Mhm.
I definitely see this now, right? There's a little bit more information because I made line charts on the 15. Price
Right.
broke, came up, bounced off that, and it's just playing around. So it's just too much going on right now. I don't know what the hell is going to happen with GU. So I'm going to skip it and not even trade it. I want clear zones. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
So this is the NASDAQ.
Okay.
This is basically overall a bullish move, bullish trend.
Mhm.
So we're on the daily time frame again. And then now so I drew a trend, which I typically don't draw trends too much, but in this case, it helps me see the bigger picture. Now I'm going to draw my horizontals on the daily. Okay, that's solid. You can
Mhm.
see why, right? So we got
Right.
boom, boom. So this is a solid area because price is highly interested in this area. So that would be a zone, right? This price keeps getting gravitated toward this area.
Okay.
We got another one, maybe like right here. Not quite,
But almost. Yeah.
but almost, right? So we can get a little bit more granular to find more data
Hmm.
and go from daily to 4 hour. And now let's try to find more. So, so this one's solid. The reason being, boom, boom, and then boom. and then again. One, two, three.
Three.
Cool. So on the 4 hour, let's go ahead and take out the candles. And now we have a better idea of what price structure is doing, right?
Right.
So this was a zone because price came to this area the most. We're also in a bullish trend.
Right.
So this area would be a support
Hmm.
because it's bouncing off the trend, this line right here. This area would also be a support area
Hmm.
because price broke, right? So price broke, retested, and is going for that continuation. And mind you, this is the 4 hour.
Okay.
So now what I want to do is I want to mark up the next zone. The next zone is basically when you're at an all-time high, you want to mark the zone at the next high.
I get it. I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, now I get it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
again, this is the no trade zone.
Right.
Oops. So I would
Wow.
have got into a trade right around here, this area,
Hmm.
because it's a support on the trend and it's also a support on the zone that I drew up, this yellow one.
Hmm.
So I gotta wait till price breaks down, retest, and then continues, or I gotta wait till price comes up, breaks, and then continues. So I
But you
wouldn't be
won't know that until
fast.
open, right?
I'm sorry?
You won't know that until the market open.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm gonna just wait. So yeah, there's really not a ton of setups. Based on the instruments that we looked at,
Hmm.
right? I mean, yeah, there's nothing super exciting for me to be like, hey, I really want to get into this. GJ looks kind of interesting. Looks like price is kind of hanging out around this area.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go a little bit faster now, right?
Okay.
So we got price up here. Oops, I always do that. Damn it. Sorry about that. Okay. So we're on the 1 hour. Interesting.
Hmm.
And then what was this? So this is September 24th. When was NFP? NFP was this candle right here. Um, so not necessarily the best zone, but I'll mark it because what I see is big candles, right? So typically history repeats itself. So we have a
Hmm.
huge candle in history that was bearish, and then we have a big candle just recently from NFP that came back up to this area. I see multiple exhaustions. Let's get more granular now on the 30-minute. Multiple exhaustions
Hmm.
at this resistance, and it's kind of hanging out. So what I want to do is this the zone or is this the zone, right?
Hmm.
And so it's not a clean area where price comes up to hit because price technically didn't come up to the zone and hit that resistance, right?
Hmm.
So is this the true zone or is this the true area where price has a hard time breaking? So what I would do is like I would probably give me 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Um, so so now I just have to look at this play based off of probabilities. Do I
Hmm.
wait for price to just go back down and, take my profit here if I do short it? I could, but the probabilities are going to be a little bit lower because if price comes up to this area and then starts consolidating, I have a higher probability trade, right?
Hmm.
Um, so it's just one of those things. But, taking out my short tool, if I short at where price is right now, I'll take it to the next price action area and then put my stop loss above this one right here. We're still looking at really good odds.
Yeah, it's almost like a win-win.
Right. So it's like, do I wait till it comes up? Because price can just start just shooting down right now
Right.
when London session comes in. So it just really depends on how accurate you want your entry. So I would say this is a better a better setup than some of the other charts that we looked at.
Hmm.
Nasdaq didn't really look too good. GU is just ugly. Um, the Dow Jones, right, right in the middle of that channel on the, I think we were on the 1 hour, right? So it's just in the middle
Hmm.
of the channel. It's not really going up or down in direction, right? It's just kind of staying sideways.
This is the one. Stay on this screen right here. You see where it's close to the end.
Hmm.
I think you asked me a question about that, where it was just bouncing up and down right here. Yeah. And then all
Yeah,
of a sudden, you asked me what would I do?
if price was doing this.
Yeah, just and you can see where it's going up and down. Probably bearish, probably in a short, right? Going
Hmm.
downward, right? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so if price starts playing around
Right.
and doesn't break this all-time high, then
Right.
short it
Okay.
and then take it to the next area where there's a solid zone.
Okay. That's where I was confused at. But now that I see it again and everything that you explained kind of this makes sense now. That
Hmm.
when you see it bouncing around like that, just
Yeah,
short. Yeah. Okay. And you
because it
can see
happened
it's
right
going
here
to
on the
go up.
bottom too,
Right.
right? Price is just kind of hanging out and just bouncing on that floor.
Hmm.
It bounced one, two, three, four, multiple times.
Right.
So that's why I drew the zone.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Think I'm good. I think I'm ready for a week of this torture.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll start kind of clicking, it's just repetition. And
Yeah, because
then
a lot of times when you teach this, man, and then I like Monday, I'll start working on it. A lot of the stuff's then I kind of get a better understanding. Some things a little tricky,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to figure out what should I do next. And so, but then this makes so much sense when you do it and then you give that review, man, like during the week or something, and it just kind of all comes into play. So,
Yeah, it starts playing out. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, keep me in the loop with your demo account. I would love to see if
Okay.
you're making progress. You can post your wins in the wins channel. So,
Okay. Yeah, I'll put
you
them
can,
there. All
yeah,
right.
you can screenshot it, your profits. You don't have to mention it's demo or anything. Just, if you executed something really well, just
Okay.
throw it in the win. That way I know you're kind of, progressing and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I got for today. Markets
Thank
don't
you.
really look too exciting, but we'll just wait till everything plays out, and then once we get into some good opportunity zones, we'll go in for some executions.
Sounds good.
All right, Reggie.
All right.
Thanks for
Thanks a
tapping
lot,
in,
man.
man.
Appreciate it. All
Yeah,
right.
I got you. See you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.